Hello, hi friends. Something that I don't think is talked about enough is how great the beach is in the fall. In fact, whenever local families will say to me during the summer months, oh, we really need to have a beach photo session, I'm like, great, let's talk in September. And I'm gonna tell you why. Listen, the beach is great year round. I think we all agree that, especially for those of us who live near the beach. There's a reason we do that, and that's because we love it here year round. It's always fun, it's always a good time. The summer has an advantage, of course, right? Which is that it's less rainy and the weather's warm. And it has a disadvantage. The weather's warm. And by warm, I mean scorching sometimes, but also it fills with tourists. And that doesn't stop us from going to the beach all the time. It does sometimes. But we have this wonderful advantage that when all of our tourists leave to go home to start their own school season, we're still here. September, our temperatures are still in the high 80s, 90s. And even when it's high 70s, it's like beautiful. We still have that warm breeze, which is like my favorite on the beach. So we get the warm weather and no tourists because it's off season. And what else isn't around too much in September? The bugs. Okay, we all know a good rainfall, we're just gonna be covered in mosquitoes. Before I moved here, I used to be, oh my God, hurricanes, so scary. You must be so worried about evacuating all the time. No, now I know when I get notice that a hurricane's gonna hit, especially if there's not predicted to be any direct impact to us. The first thing I think is my family gonna be safe and what's the direct impact? And the second thing I think is, oh gosh, darn it, the mosquitoes are gonna be so bad for the next month. We avoid a little bit of that at the beach, especially some of the beaches here. Peak summer are gnat city, annoying buzzing gnats. I'm like editing them out of every photo. September, I find early October, they just aren't around in that same capacity. So we lessen the chances of being highly irritated by bugs and mosquitoes, specifically while we're at our beach session. The other thing is, while we are still in hurricane season, rainy season really kicks in end of October, November. November especially, I feel like in November I'm rescheduling every weekend. I'm rescheduling something, a photo session for some reason every single year in November. We don't have that in September. So if you live here and you have the availability, September is the month for the beach photos. To me, it's just no questions asked, hands down. You know what else? You're still early in your sports schedule. So if you're running your weekends between the football field and the soccer field and balancing the ballet and all that stuff, September's kind of the quieter month. You're not in tournament season. A lot of the travel sports aren't traveling yet. It's still the beginning of the school year. A lot of birthday parties aren't happening either because everyone's kind of readjusting to the schedule. So September's the best month to sneak in your family session at the beach. Hands down, no questions asked. I don't think it gets talked about enough. We love beaching off season. January's harder. I think January you get no people on the beach, which is nice, and you really get no bugs, which is also nice, but you can get crazy wind. The wind in the winter at the beach is sometimes so impossible to work around. I have a little bit of a gauge. If the weather's gonna be over 11 miles per hour at the beach, I'm giving it a lot of thought to if we can pull off a session. 15 or higher, no go. Hurts to be pelted with sand like that. So January's a gamble. I say January because we can have really long, mild fall that turns into a winter, and come Christmas time it's still beautiful out. And usually by mid-February our winter's done. It's a very short winter season and we can certainly pull off photos then, but yeah, it's a little bit riskier. So if you're local and you're thinking about a beach session, September's the month, let me tell you. Take advantage. It's the reason you live here. It's one of the reasons we live here. Let's do photos in September, maybe early October.